today we're going to make this, or at least plan out what we're going to do with this. Let's go. Okay, so welcome to part one of the DIY folding kayak sailboat project. Lack of a better term. This is what we're going to start off with. Honestly, a little secret, I've already built all the outriggers and masts and stuff. They're over there, but I'm not going to show it to you. I did film the process, but it's kind of crap, so I didn't know what I was doing. Hopefully this will be better because I kind of can reshoot things easily. And that's also why there's a bunch of stuff done to this thing that was not done before. Yeah. So this video we're going to walk through the plan and why I'm doing this. First of all, let's talk about the boat itself, the hull. I cannot take credit for this design. I'll put a link to the article that we use. It also links to the person's website channel who actually designed this. They have also converted one of their kayaks into a sailboat, but they've kind of, I don't know, I feel like we're doing different routes because I'm going to have outriggers too. And, it's going to be a whole different process. So kind of going over what we're going to need again, so outriggers, we're going to have the outriggers about 3 feet out on either side. The mast, I'm going about, I think, a 9.5 foot tall mast. This boat itself is 9.5 feet long. I feel like I don't want to go with the standard ratio about 1.3 times your boat length is how tall your mast should be, but that feels a little big for this boat. So I'm just going to go 1-to-1 mast to sail ratio. It's going to be a little smaller because I'm measuring from the base of the boat. And then it's going to have a sail. Of course, it's just going to be just the main sail, although you could in theory add a jib to it. It's going to need lee boards and a rudder, of course. Lee boards are so it doesn't slide downwind, which I did testing in it. This thing likes to slide to the side. And, you know, the thing's going to have an anchor. I'm going with a boom design instead of boomless, just because I feel like it's maybe a bit better for this kind of thing. And yeah, so let's go discuss the plan. These are the plans that I ended up making and somewhat following. So there's some things I didn't account for. Like, for example, I thought that, I was guessing that the outriggers would be low down enough, kind of just being attached directly. I ended up needing to add kind of droppers sections to the outrigger supports to help them kind of be actually in the water. That's kind of material guiding, but you can still kind of see the PVC with a 1.25 inch attachments to it with a 1 inch run and then a 1.25 inch attached there, and there's pins in all of those places. And then kind of on the side view here, just some different things I ended up kind of doing with. The mast height it says is 7.5 feet. I ended up going all the way up to 9.5 feet, as I mentioned before. And then I also ended up changing it that there's not a thing there. There's not that 1.25 inch coupler thing there. It's a 3/4 inch piece inside. But again, I'll get to the mast design when we start discussing the mast. Yeah. Now let's go talk about kind of the part that I used to kind of stiffen it up and make it a little less flexible. So we're here up at the bow, up with these 2 thwarts. So obviously, as this thing itself cannot work as a sailboat because there's just way too much flex in between the middle and the 2 ends of it. So to solve this problem, I've cut out. I have these 2 pieces of PVC pipe that I've added here. To solve the twisting problem, I ended up running a couple of 1/4 inch stainless steel bolts through the 2 pieces. So, but to solve this problem, the front one to hinge up, I've cut out I have these 2 pieces, labeled port and starboard boat. So they kind of fit in up here. These cross holes there's cross holes in them too for provisions for the mast, a pin to hold the mast in place. And then they kind of just fit in up here into this one, and then into this one. They definitely are going to need to get glued in place. From this end, I'll probably leave this end as it fits so I can take it apart if I need to. Okay, so now that we have them in, you can see it adds a lot more rigidity up here to the front. These guys still kind of want to hinge past each other. I'm probably going to end up putting some through bolts here in the middle to help hold them in place. Because I can't do it on the end because there is the outrigger supports are going to nest into this too, but that's going to come later. And then it's kind of the same thing over on the stern thwarts, except I only am using one because the reason here is there's going to be a mast right here, so I can't have a piece there. There's more stuff over here that has to do with the mast itself. But yeah, kind of just ignore. This is going to be the first step, is just stiffening it up. So yeah, that kind of covers this step. This one's kind of covered briefly. I'll go into a bit more depth because this is kind of connected with the outrigger attachment part itself, which will be covered in the next episode. And then part 2, if we release that soon. I'll cover what materials you need for each step kind of in that part. So it's not to kind of blast you with a bunch of materials and then make you remember all of them. Well, just to give you just what you need when you need it. I'll also cover what tools I end up using in each section, but they're kind of going to be all the same tools. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe so you see when the next parts come out. See you in the next one.